Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the postseason preview here on ttownsports.com. Usually, when you call a coach's office during the week of area tournaments, somebody's got to draw the short straw to talk with us. I know that it's a busy time in Collinsville, and so our head assistant coach, Nate West, is going to join us today as Coach Anderson's, of course, getting the Cardinals ready for their big game this week against Will Rogers in the first round of area tournaments. Coach, thank you for being with us.
We appreciate you having us on. Thank you very much.
You know, I know that it's always a privilege to get to area tournament action. Tomorrow on Thursday, of course, we see the Cardinals coming to Jinx to take on the Will Rogers Ropers. And we'll get to that here in just a moment. But let's talk about your season so far. I mean, you've had several great highlights, and I know you've had a couple of games that were, maybe not what you expected, but with a 15-11 record, I believe it was, with the OSSAA when I looked last. You guys are definitely trying to keep this season alive.
Yeah, no doubt. We've had some quality wins. We played East Central well twice. We played a lot of our teams in our district well. We couldn't quite get over the hump against Bishop Kelly both times at their place and at our place. I believe both were 2-point losses. And Shawnee got us twice, kind of the same way. Just both of those games were really close as well. But both of those teams are quality teams. They're still playing. They're actually playing each other tomorrow. So we've had some good wins. We've beaten Del City as well. We came up a little short after we beat Del City. We played Claremore at Claremore, and we just couldn't get anything to fall. Our kids didn't have a lot of legs. And of course, this past weekend, we had a quality win against a good McAllister team over at Booker T.
Anytime you can beat a team like McAllister that's been there and done that so many times, that's a good program win for you guys. And I know, taking a look at your schedule, it doesn't look like you've seen Rogers before to this point. So what are you expecting out of the Ropers this week?
Yeah, well, we definitely haven't looked past them. We know who their personnel is. We know, they've got quality guards that can all pass, dribble, shoot, drive it. They've got competitors around the rim. Jay Oates, number 23, 24 in the mid range and at the rim. He's hard to block out, both of those guys. And we just have our hands full. There, everywhere the ball goes tomorrow, there's a player that's capable of hitting an outside shot, a player that's capable of driving to the rim to create a layup opportunity, and they're really good passers with each other as well. So it'll be a tall task trying to slow them down for sure tomorrow.
Coach, I know that we are going to be broadcasting your game tomorrow night here on ttownsports.com. And when we take a look at that starting lineup, who's going to be on that? Who are some of the names that we're going to be calling a lot tomorrow night? And who are your go-to guys this season?
For our team, we've got three seniors in the starting lineup. Number 10, Walton Kavanaugh. He's kind of a forward, plays in the interior. He kind of leads us in competitiveness. He averages about 8 and 6, but his stats really don't tell his full story. He's a great leader on the court for us. Number 20, Aiden Anderson. He's our point guard. He's shooting right around 39-40% from three. A lot of people don't understand having a guard that can get the ball across half court and getting into our offense. That's really important in basketball. Number 2, Austin, just like Aiden, he also takes on the bulk of the ball handling responsibilities. He also shoots a good ball. He play makes a lot for us. We rely on him to get other people's shots. And so those are our three seniors. We start number 3, Dylan Circles. He can hit from the outside. He has a good mid-range touch. He scores at the rim. He offensive rebounds. We rely on him to carry the load on offense for sure. And then we have a sophomore, number 0, Brevin Walters, and he's shooting a good 3 ball. He can drive it. He rebounds well. He kind of rounds out our starting 5 with what we need in competitiveness and in toughness. And he also guards the other team's best player on most nights. Off the bench, we have number 12, Callan Schloman. He's a junior. He comes in and takes ball handling responsibilities when he gets into the game. And he adds a lot of competitive desire and the will to win when he comes into the game. He usually changes the context of the game in our way on most nights. Number 24, junior Jarrett Bristol. He's shooting a 3-point shot right around 39-40% as well. We rely on him to spread the floor. And lastly, forward junior Maverick Davis, number 11. He comes in and mixes it up in the interior, rebounder, layup guy, assist guy, moving the ball within our offense.
Coach, I know that it's night and day typically most years between the beginning of the season and the end of the season. And as we approach this postseason, who might be a player that you might not have expected a lot out of in the beginning of the season that's really stepped up and kind of, surprised you or changed your mind this year?
Well, I would say with our group this year, it's I wouldn't say that there's one person that is like elevating their game. With us, we're either all going to play well or we're probably not going to be successful, especially against a really good team like Rogers. And so I think that to answer your question a little better, each one of our guys have all learned to star in their role, like Walton and Maverick. They star in playing in the interior, rebounding, competitively guarding around the painted area, scoring layups for us. On the perimeter, there's Aiden, Austin, Dylan, Brevin, Callan, Jarrett. Those guys have all grown in their ball handling, decision making, in their playmaking, in their shooting ability, in their ability to drive it to the rim for potential layup opportunities. So I wouldn't say it's one person. I would just say up and down our lineup, we rely on all of our guys to make big plays for us and to play well. And hopefully we can get that done and going tomorrow night.
You guys have looked into the Will Rogers Ropers and I'm sure broken down some film and
No
give
doubt.
us a preview of what you're looking for out of that team tomorrow night.
So they a year ago, all of their players were right here in this position last year. They played Sapulpa in this area game, which was Friday night last year, Thursday night this year. And so they're all back. They didn't graduate anybody, so they know what it takes to get to this point. Also, that they're hungry to progress and advance from what they did last year. And in the middle, they've got number 23, Jay Oates. He's a junior. He's tough. He's competitive. He's hard to stop when he catches it down there, and he's really hard to block out. They've got a 6'4" guard, number 24, sophomore Brandon Crossland. He can really go. He's a tough shot maker. He can drive it to the rim. He's also really hard to block out as well. We'll have our hands full with both of them. Out on the perimeter, there's number 3, Dakarion Titsworth, and number 1, Sean King. Dakarion's a sophomore, Sean's a junior, and then number 2 is a sophomore, Coach Buckley's son, Terrence Buckley. And all 3 of those guys can drive it, they can pass it, they can shoot it. So like I said earlier, wherever that ball goes, there's a threat, there's a scoring threat, and also there's a threat that they're going to make a play for their teammates. And so, like I said, it'll be a tall task tomorrow. Not just those guys. There's a number 5, Caleb Mitchell, sophomore. He can really drive it. He's a really tough player. And then off the bench, they have number 0, Cameron Hammond. He's a senior, tough. A freshman, number 10, Braylon Jefferson, that can really guard and shoot well. And a number 15, sophomore, Cyrus Pete. And he's also a quality player on offense. And then he really turns up the intensity on defense, just like all those guys do. So it'll be a tough one tomorrow night.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing you there. And of course, I know that it's kind of a make or break game for the Collinsville Cardinals. Of course, you drew that spot in the area tournament that nobody really wants to be in, but you guys really seem to thrive on adversity.
Well, we've got our hands full tomorrow. Rogers, they've taken a few losses this year, but if you go back and look at their schedule, they've had a really good season. They're at 19 wins. They've only lost to regional champions. If you think about Memorial, Sand Springs, Edison, Cassia Hall, all those teams were district regional champions. And then East Central won the Catoosa tournament. They won the Lincoln Christian tournament. And so, man, they've had a tough schedule. And we've had a tough schedule as well. But we know what we're getting into tomorrow night. And it's going to be a tall task to come out with a victory. Our kids will be ready.
All right, Coach, thanks for being with us today.
All right, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Grant. Have a
Thank
good one.
you.